Eastman Kodak Company is happy to bring you America's favorite family, the Nelsons. Ozzie, Harriett, David, and Ricky. They enjoy good times together, and like most of us, they know that good times are snapshot times, outdoors and indoors too. Like the Nelsons, you too can save those heartwarming scenes that happen only indoors. Flash pictures are easy to take, priceless to keep. And this new flash holder makes them even easier. It's the new Kodak rotary flash holder. It holds 6 bulbs at a time, so you can take 6 flash pictures in a row without stopping to put in new bulbs. For extra convenience, you can buy low-cost flash bulbs in this special 6-pack. The new Kodak rotary flash holder comes in 2 models to fit nearly all cameras. This model costs $10.95. See it at your photo dealers. Another new reward in pictures by Kodak. And now Kodak invites you to enjoy The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriett.
Hey, Pop, could you come in here a minute, please?
Gee, I'm kind of late, Rick. What do you want? Rick, where are you?
Well, don't you know, Pop?
Come on, Rick, I'm late.
You haven't looked under the bed.
Oh, hi, Pop. You looking for somebody? What's going on here?
I'll solve your mystery for you.
What's this?
My new tape recorder. How do you like it?
Well, I don't know. When did you buy this?
I haven't yet. See, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Here, listen to this.
It has a strong shockproof construction, a small convenient microphone, a clear static-free playback, and a simplified correction feature. It's practically a must for every modern office and home.
Well, who's that?
The salesgirl. She sounded so good I asked her to record it for me.
The price is ridiculously low. Just a few dollars a week. It'll be paid for before you know it.
Well, you mean you want to buy it on time?
Sure, they said my credit's fine, just as long as you sign for it. How about it, Pa?
Why don't we talk it over later, Rick? Right now, my mind's on this treasurer's report, and I have to get down to the men's club. We'll talk about it a little later, huh?
Well, there's nothing wrong with buying it on credit, is there, Pa?
Oh, no. In fact, most buying is done on credit. It's just you have to keep in mind there's an obligation involved. See, it's just like my being treasurer of the men's club. I'm spending somebody else's money, and I'm responsible for it. That's why I have to read this report at the meeting tonight, to let the members know what I've done with their money.
Do you have to read the whole thing?
Oh, well, sure. That's part of the responsibility I accepted. See, there are a lot of important businessmen in the club, and they insist on knowing where every cent of their money goes, and rightfully so. This is one report the entire membership is vitally interested in.
Hey, that's just like me. I sure am vitally interested in getting this tape recorder. I'll bet you'd get a lot of fun out of it, too.
Well, maybe so.
Ozzie, you better get going.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about it later, Rick.
It's also got a lifetime guarantee.
If you don't hurry, the meeting's going to be over before you get there.
No, I don't think so. You seem to forget I'm practically the whole meeting tonight.
Is your financial report the only thing they're having?
Oh, no, a couple of other guys are going to do a few things, but you know how those annual meetings are. The only thing anybody seems to be interested in is what happened to the money.
Are you kidding with this?
Oh, come on, it's not so heavy.
Well, I'm glad I don't have to listen to it.
Well, you'd be surprised. It's pretty interesting. I've got a couple of jokes sprinkled through there. I'm going to start out with the one about the drunk who was crawling across the sidewalk. You know, the guy asked him what he thought he was doing, and the drunk said, "I'll climb this wall if it takes me all night." It's an old one, but it's kind of funny. Well, good night. I won't be late.
You will be if you read that. Can't you leave out about 100 pages?
Oh, not a chance. Those guys want to know where every penny goes. Well, good night.
Good night. Good luck.
I agree. This is turning out to be one of the most interesting meetings we've ever had. Before we continue, I think that Herbie Jackson deserves another big round of applause for showing us those wonderful pictures of his visit to Hawaii. Herbie, come on out and take another bow. Thank you again, Brother Jackson. Oh, well, now we come to a more serious part of the meeting. I say serious, although I know it's a topic that we're all vitally interested in. And so without further ado, I'm going to turn this meeting over to the man that you've all been waiting to hear from. Dr. Lawrence Hatfield.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to be with you again and discuss further the workings of the subconscious mind. I think we'll all agree it's a most interesting subject and one about which there seems to be a great deal of misunderstanding. It's like the drunk who was crawling along on the sidewalk, and when someone asked him what he was doing, he said, "I'll climb this wall if it takes me all night." And in my opinion, gentlemen, these examples taken from actual case histories would seem to indicate rather conclusively that the subconscious mind is actually working 24 hours a day and has much greater powers of retention than we would imagine.
You mean our subconscious mind retains things over a period of years, even trivial things?
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about it. For example, 10 years ago, I came home with a blonde hair on my lapel. There was a perfectly logical explanation for it, and yet to this day, whenever I enter the house, my wife automatically looks at my lapel. Any more questions?
Yeah, I have one. Who was the blonde?
Well, thank you, gentlemen. I didn't intend to take up so much of your time. You've been a most attentive and receptive audience. Thank you.
And next.
Well, thank you, Dr. Hatfield, for your most interesting and instructive talk. Well, fellas, I guess that's all for tonight. If somebody will make the motion, we'll adjourn and get to the refreshments.
Mr. Chairman.
Brother Nelson moves we adjourn.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
No. Wait a minute. How about my treasurer's report?
Oh, wait a minute. No, wait a minute.
Fellas, just a second. I have my treasurer's report here.
Before we adjourn, we'll have the annual treasurer's report by Brother Nelson. Hurry it up, Ozzie. Ice cream's melting.
Thank you, fellas. I was going to start off with a little joke about a drunk crawling across the sidewalk, but Dr. Hatfield stole it from me. However, fortunately, it reminded me of another little story. It seems that this drunk was driving the wrong way on a one-way street, and a police officer stopped him and said, "Hey, where do you think you're going?" And the drunk said, "I don't know, but I must be late. Everybody else is coming back." Well, in a way, the story is like my report here. As the old saying goes, better late than never. First I'll review our overall financial structure, and then I'll cover each item in greater detail. As you know, our fiscal year extends from September 15th to September 15th.
Pardon me a moment, Oz. Gentlemen, I hate to interrupt here, but I, for one, feel it is not fair to subject Brother Nelson to all this scrutiny. After all, he's been our treasurer for years. We don't have to check on every penny he handles.
I think Brother Henry's right. Ozzie Nelson is about the most honest guy I've known all my life. I think it's an insult to make him read this report, especially when the sandwiches are getting stale and the beer's getting warm.
I move as a vote of confidence to Brother Nelson that we just tear up the report and take his word for it. Well, gentlemen.
Come on, Oz, let's get some sandwiches.
Well, what about my treasurer's report?
Just give it to me and I'll throw it in the wastebasket.
I think the members should hear this.
Well, why not make a recording of it?
Frankly, I expected there'd be quite a few questions about the increased expenditure for advertising and publicity. I've got that, here we are, you see, on page 24.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. However, of course, that's explained again on page 116, I think it is. Well, here we are, page 118. Mr. Frisbee? Mr. Frisbee? Doc made a motion. They tear up the report as a vote of confidence, and some guy jumps up and shouts out, "Let's eat!" They left me standing there like I was stuffed.
Well, what are you so upset about? I think it's the nicest compliment they could have paid you.
Oh, Harriet, I'm sorry. I think it's a pretty sad state of affairs when a bunch of full-grown men think more of stuffing their stomachs than they do of finding out who's embezzling their money.
What is this, a confession?
No, but you'd think you could find somebody to listen to it.
Listen to what, Pop?
Well, my treasurer's report. I thought I made it pretty interesting. Well, here, let me read a little of it to you, Dave.
Oh, I don't think I ought to hear it. Well, there's liable to be some men's club secrets in there or something.
Not a secret. It's just the treasurer's report.
Well, just the same, I don't think they'd like you discussing their financial affairs with an outsider. After all, I'm not a member of the men's club.
Well,
Neither am I.
okay, let's just forget about it.
Say, why don't you make a recording of it?
It may interest you to know you're not the first one to suggest that. Hey, wait a minute, that's not a bad idea. If I had some records to pass around, the men could listen to them when they had more time.
Sure, you could tape it on Ricky's machine and then have some records made.
Well, that's exactly what I had in mind. Rick?
Sounds like an awful lot of trouble.
Well, look, I spent 2 weeks preparing this report, and those guys are going to listen to it whether they like it or not. Rick? Where's the tape recorder?
It's right downstairs. Why, are you going to buy it after all?
Well, I'm thinking it over.
Oh, gee, that's great. Congratulations, Pop. I'll go down and get it.
Good times call for snapshots, recalling a memory. The season's biggest dance and Junior's first romance.
A fountain in the park.
The fireworks after dark.
Save your fun with snapshots to look at now and then. Good times call for pictures, recalling a memory. Sailing on a sunny day, or lazy fun beside the sea. A wedding in the spring,
The children in the swing.
The family's first new car.
no matter where you are. Save your fun with snapshots to cherish all over again. Mr. Chairman, fellow members of the Men's Club, the following is the financial report of our club for the fiscal year just ended, prepared by your treasurer, Ozzie Nelson. We started the fiscal year with cash on hand of $409.84. The dues due, the due-dues, the collectible dues. Mr. Chairman, fellow members of the Men's Club, the following is the financial report for our current fiscal year submitted by your treasurer, Ozzie Nelson. And so in conclusion, by adding the cash on hand, plus the dues due and the $15 IOU signed by our chairman, and subtracting the rental of the hall, plus the cost of refreshments, and the broken window from the New Year's Eve party, we arrive at a grand total of $518.12 as we close the fiscal year. Respectfully submitted, your treasurer, Ozzie Nelson.
Oh, that was very good, dear.
I was still recording. Did you like the report?
Well, it sounded fine when I heard of it. I only heard the last few lines.
Well, I'll play it back for you. It only takes about a half an hour.
Gee, I've got a lot of things to do.
Just listen to part of it.
When's it going to start?
Oh, great. I've erased a whole big hunk of it here.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, better luck next time.
Mr. Chairman, fellow members of the Men's Club, the following is the financial report prepared by your treasurer, Ozzie Nelson, for the current fiscal year. We started the year with cash on hand While some of the members felt it was the responsibility of the women's club to replace the light bulbs, I took the position that it was part of the maintenance expenditure and should rightfully be borne by the men's club.
How's it going, Pop?
Oh,
What'd you say?
I'm recording. This puts me in mind of a little story. It seems this... Harriet, would you get the back door, please? I'm recording.
I'm upstairs.
I'll get it, Pop.
Oh, thanks, son. This puts me in mind of a little story. It seems this woman was walking down the street and she met this little boy with rather a strange-looking dog.
Hey, Mom, it's a paper boy. He wants to collect for this month.
I haven't got any change. Ozzie, have you got any...
Harriet, I'm recording.
I know that, but I haven't got any money. I have to cash a
Well,
check.
can't you keep your budget straight?
It has nothing to do with my budget. You took my last $10 bill.
Rick, could you pay him, please?
Okay.
This puts me in mind of a little story. It seems this woman was walking down the street and she met this little boy with a strange-looking dog. She said to the little boy, "My, that's an odd-looking dog you have there." And the little fellow said, "Well, he's a bloodhound." The lady said, "Well, he doesn't look like a bloodhound to me." The little boy said, "Go ahead, Fido. Bleed for the lady."
I paid him, Pop.
Oh, thanks a lot, son.
Just sign here and we'll fill in the terms later. Here are the records, Pop.
Oh, thanks, Rick. Well, that was quick work. I didn't realize they could finish them that fast.
Yeah, they could have finished them even faster, only they had to make long-playing records out of them. 15 minutes on each side.
Sure look nice.
I don't think you're going to sell very many copies, though.
Well, I'm not going to sell them. I'm going to give them away.
You may have a little trouble giving them away, too.
I think you may underestimate the interest of the members in their financial affairs. Besides, with a record, they can listen to it at their convenience. Hello, Clara? This is Ozzie. Is Joe there? Oh, thanks. Hi, Joe. I've got the financial report. I just thought I'd drop it by your house. No, wait a minute. You don't have to read it. All you have to do is put it on your record player and sit back and listen.
Well, gee, I'm sorry, Oz, but I don't have a record player.
Well, you do so have a record player. I've seen it.
Well, I have one, but it's busted.
Well, can't you have it fixed?
Oh, a man said it would cost $4.
Well, I think it's worth $4 to listen to the record. Okay, suit yourself.
A record of the financial report? Oz, are you sure you're feeling all right?
No, I feel fine. I made it because I thought maybe you guys would enjoy listening to it at home at your leisure. It's a long-playing record.
Oh, well, gee, I am sorry, Oz, but my machine doesn't play those long-playing records.
Well, why don't you get rid of that old-fashioned machine? Okay.
Some people just don't appreciate a good thing, huh, Pop?
I'm kidding. I probably should have had it made in 3 speeds. Well, hello, Herb. This is Ozzie.
Oh, hello, Oz. Gee, I'm sorry. My record player's busted, too.
Wait a second. How did you know I was calling you about the record? Boy, that Joe's a regular gossip. Well, look, why don't you come over here and listen to it? Well, anytime. Boy, his record player's busted, too.
Say, I just got an idea. I think I'll go into the record player repair business. The way it looks, I could make enough money to pay you back in no time.
Oh, I'm glad you came in. Do you want me to dust these, or what do you want me to do with them?
I don't know. It sure doesn't look like anybody wants them.
I still think it was a good idea. Anyway, you've only spoken to 10 of the club members. You still have 42 to go. Somebody ought to want one.
Hey, anybody home?
Hi, Doc.
Oh, hello, Doc.
Hi, Harriett. Hi, Oz.
Tell you why I phoned.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess you got it all right.
Got what?
I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of it going around.
Well, Ozzie's not sick.
Oh, I'm sorry, Oz. You just look so bad. Something wrong with you, Harriet?
Well, no, nobody's sick around here.
Well, it's funny. I got a message in my office telling me to come over here immediately.
Well, yeah, I called you, Doc.
What for?
Well, I want to give you one of these records I had made of the financial report.
Oh, you are sick.
You mean you actually had a record made of that report?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for goodness sake, Oz, why?
Well, I got to thinking at some future time the members had probably wished they'd heard the report. I'm sure a lot of them thought of that on the way home.
Believe me, Oz, nobody wants to hear that long, dull report, either in person or by electrical transcription.
Now, wait a minute. I spent a lot of time preparing this, and I have every expenditure itemized right down to the last penny. For instance, do you remember the New Year's Eve party?
I remember going to it, but from then on, the whole thing's a blank.
Well, you should remember it. The club paid for that window you broke.
I broke?
Yes, you broke. I suppose you don't even remember the St. Patrick's Day party?
Sure I do. We had a lot of fun.
Okay, do you know how much it cost?
Oh, now, look, Oz, I enjoyed the party. Don't put a damper on it by telling me how much money it cost.
Look, Doc, it's your money.
Well, then I certainly don't want to know how much it cost.
Well, Doc.
Oscar, I know you spent a lot of time on the report. You want everybody to listen to it, and nobody wants to, and your feelings are hurt. Isn't that true?
Well, can you blame me?
Well, of course not.
Well, then take this home and listen to it. Is that asking too much?
Well, all right, Oz, but I'm only doing this as a favor to an old friend.
Now, remember, you promised to listen to it.
Yeah, I promise. Oh, by the way, that'll be $5, please.
You're going to charge me $5 for listening to the record?
Oh, I'm going to charge you for the house call.
House call?
Well, it's a house, isn't it?
Well, sure.
And I called on you.
Come on, Doc. You've called on me at the house here lots of times, but you've never charged me for it.
Yeah, but I brought my bag with me this time.
Oh, cut it out, will you?
Okay, we'll say this is an on-the-house call.
Thanks a lot, Doc.
Oh, by the way, you know what this little fiasco is going to cost me? About $9.
Well, how do you figure that?
$5 for the house call you didn't pay for, and $4 to get my record player fixed.
You're okay, Doc. Harriet?
In the kitchen.
What do you think Doc just phoned? He wants 10 more of my records. I'm going to take them over to the office for him.
Well, it's wonderful. What does he want 'em for?
Well, for some of the other club members. He probably told them how interesting the record was, and they all want a copy.
Oh, that is good news.
Now, remember, Harry, you put the phonograph right next to your bed and then play that record. And I guarantee before you get the club expenditures for February, you'll be sound asleep.
Thanks.
Oh, Oz, did you bring the rest of the records?
What's the idea of telling that guy my record to put him to sleep?
Because it will. Let me tell you what happened, Oz. After I left your place, I came back here and I put the record on the phonograph and played it through club expenditures for February. Then when I came out here into the reception room, 4 of my patients were fast asleep.
Fast asleep?
Yep, fast asleep. And 2 of them had been suffering from insomnia for the past 5 years. Oz, that record of yours is the greatest thing since phenobarbital. You think you can have 10 more copies made?
Now, look, Doc.
Well, I'll write you a prescription for them.
I didn't make these records to put people to sleep.
Well, what difference does it make? You're a boon to mankind.
Okay, here, take the records. And I'll tell you this much, that's the last time I make out a financial report for the men's club.
Well, that's a fine attitude. How are we going to know where our money goes?
Yes, well, if he has any more records left, I'm sure he'll be glad to send one over to you, Mrs. Johnson. Yes, you're welcome. Goodbye. That phone's been ringing for the last 2 days. I never realized there were so many people in town with insomnia.
Well, I didn't make the record to put people to sleep. It's a fine thing. I couldn't give them away. Now they're breaking the front door down to get them.
Hello, fellas.
Hello, Harriet. Where's Slumber Boy?
Right over there. Here's some friends of yours.
Oz, we just dropped in to thank you.
I know, for the best night's sleep you've ever had in your life.
That's right.
It's very funny.
Oh, it's not funny, Oz. It's the truth.
Look, fellas, I put a lot of time and effort into that treasurer's report. It runs nearly 145 pages, and I made 3 carbon copies of everything.
Well, what about it, Oz? Paper's cheap. $1.79 plus 8 cents tax.
That's right.
Who told you that?
You told us.
I never said a word about it.
Well, you did, too. And the carbon paper costs 87 cents.
Plus 4 cents tax.
Now, wait a minute. I never told you guys any of that stuff. It was in the report, but way down near the end.
Well, that's where we heard it.
I thought you said the record put you to sleep.
It did.
Oh, another thing, Oz. Did you really borrow Harriet's last $10?
Well, I thought I cut that out of the record.
Hey, that reminds me of a story. This lady was walking down the street, and she saw this little boy with a dog.
And the little boy said, "Go ahead, bleed for the lady."
I don't know. Where'd you hear it?
I don't know.
So I'll tell you where you heard it. That was in the record. Of course, Dr. Hatfield.
What about him?
Well, you remember what he was saying about the subconscious that never sleeps? That's what happened to you guys while you were playing the record.
But we slept.
Well, that's the point. While you were sleeping, your subconscious was listening to me, and you absorbed the whole report.
Oz, you know what this means? We'll never have to listen to one of those dull reports again.
You can make a record of it. In fact, I think the club ought to buy you that machine.
I'll make a motion to that effect at the very next meeting.
And I'll second it.
It's been quite an exciting day.
Certainly has.
Good night, dear.
Good night.
Mr. Chairman, fellow members of the Men's Club. Financial report of our club for the fiscal year just ended, prepared by your treasurer, Ozzie Nelson. We started the fiscal year with cash on hand of $409.84. Dues due, $38. The first item I believe we should discuss in some detail. Mr. Chairman, fellow members of the Men's Club. Not only the financial report of our club for the fiscal year just ended, prepared by your treasurer, Ozzie Nelson. We started the fiscal year with cash on hand of $409. Mr. Chairman, fellow members of the Men's Club. The following is the financial report of our club. Mr. Chairman, fellow members of the Men's Club. The following is the financial report of our club for the fiscal year just ended, prepared by your treasurer.
Some folks take black and white snapshots. Others take their snapshots in color. Still others say nothing beats their own color slides. But this smart family enjoys all three, and they take them all with this new Kodak Brownie Star Flash camera. The camera, built-in flash holder, bulbs, and film cost less than $10 complete. And yet it's like having three cameras in one. Indoors or out, you can take crisp black and white snapshots, beautiful color snapshots, and striking color slides. All three with this one inexpensive camera. See the Brownie Star Flash camera, the Star Flex with its big picture window, and the new Starlet that costs less than $6. Each one takes three kinds of pictures, another new achievement by Kodak. And because they're made by Kodak, you know they're good. Ozzie and Harriett are brought to you on film by Eastman Kodak Company. This week, visit your regular Kodak dealer for reliable service in all your picture needs.
15 years of making dreams come true. That's the proud achievement of United States Series E savings bonds. Make sure your dreams come true, too. Invest now in United States savings bonds.
This has been an ABC Television Network film presentation.